So the video you're about to watch features this Uniden Washington that I've been fixing, but I just wanted to kind of give like a warning. This thing came to me with a 10 kilohertz jump switch installed, and the owner wanted it removed, of course. But the remaining part of the video, so it's me going through the radio, doing a preliminary check, and then another portion of it is me explaining and going through what a 10 kilohertz jump is and does. And I just figured I'd let you guys know, if you already know what a 10 kilohertz jump does and, you know, all that stuff that's related to it, by all means, you don't have to watch the rest of the video. I just wanted to give you guys a warning. But if you wanted to see, you know, the preliminary check on the radio, by all means. Or if you're still interested in learning about a 10 kilohertz jump and, you know, if it's still relevant or whatever, then you can watch the whole video. But it's up to you guys. All right. On the bench, we have a Uniden Washington. And what can I say about this radio other than it's just a good all-around radio. So you can get these in two versions. So the original version was not labeled as Uniden, it was President. So some noticeable differences between this Uniden and the Washington branded ones. Like cosmetically, not much difference. So here, instead of saying Washington on the original President, it said President. Washington was over here. You had no channel 9. Basically, this was empty here, and you had a TXRX light. And on the President, you only had 2 buttons instead of the 3. So you had noise blanker, and you had the CB/PA switch here. So you had no channel 9, you know, whatever. And then some other, I guess, well, one of the big differences is the actual chassis. So the original Presidents, excuse me, were had the D858 PLL, which, you know, a great chassis. They were made in Japan, and the mic was actually 4-pin on the older President branded ones. These are 5-pin on these. So this one here is obviously a 3-button. These are not made in Japan. I think this one's made in Taiwan. And obviously the 5-pin mic. And this one is the MB8719, 8719 PLL, which is another great PLL in my opinion. So no matter which one you get, the Presidents are a little bit more desirable, I guess, because everybody loves the D858, you know, sideband chassis. But these are great as well. So no matter which one you get, I think you're gonna get a good radio. So this one here belongs to a local guy, Scott, who mailed it in to me. Wants a full service done to it. Transceiver alignment. So this channel display here, it's like showing like Predator numbers. You know, when the very first Predator movie. But anyway, yeah, it's something's going on with that. So that needs to be fixed. Whether it's the I think it's the actual display. I haven't opened this up yet, but we'll check it out. Make sure whatever it is, I'll fix it. But yeah, so that's probably one of the major things wrong with this is the display. But I would call this user quality radio. I like to use that term because it's no showpiece, but it's definitely clean enough you know, where it's not going to hinder anything. Like all the labeling is still intact. You know, there's like no major flaws to it. It's no museum piece, but it's definitely a nice looking radio. User quality is a term I like to use. Yeah, so that's got to get fixed. He wants an LED in the meter, and he wants the clarifier unlocked, which is no big deal on these, easy to do. And this one has some sort of channel mod, so we got a 3-position switch here. So I don't know if we'll check it out, see what it does, but I don't know if he has uppers and lowers or whatnot, but that's getting removed, regardless of whatever mod that is. And yeah, that's about it. So recap, full service, you know, alignment. Just go through the whole radio and whatever it needs, fix it. So what we'll do is, it's already warm. Let me see if this is actually channel 19. Okay. 8. Okay, that's 20. Okay, that's 19, even though it's showing up as a backwards 9, whatever. Yeah, let's see if we're on frequency. Yeah, it's a little high, but, you know, about what, 30 hertz high. It's probably within spec. I think it's like plus or minus 20, but we can get that better. Let's see what we got for AM power here. So the carrier is a little high, 9 watt carrier. That's too high. So we'll get that back down. Hopefully, when we go inside of here, it's not completely butchered. I hope not. But let's see what we got for peak PEP. Audio. About 18. All right. We'll go upper sideband. You know what bothers me about all these Washingtons is you got all the same and then knobs, and then you come to the mode switch and it's different. I don't understand why they did that. Why wouldn't you just keep the same style switch? I don't know why they did that, but just bothers me. Don't know why, it just does. I like to see everything the same here, but whatever. All right, upper sideband power. All right, got good carrier suppression. All right, well, that's way high. Let's lower sideband. Yeah, good carrier suppression. Audio. Yeah, we saw like what, 25 there. So we'll have to see what's going on. Hopefully nothing is clipped or bypassed or whatnot. Yeah, we'll take it from there. So let's see what we got it on the dummy load here. Let's see what this switch does. So we'll move it forward. Oh, sorry, we're still on upper side. Let's go to AM. Okay, so that just dropped 10 kilohertz. So this might just be a 10 kilohertz jump. So the middle, so forward. Let's go back. See what. Okay, the back does nothing. So it looks like it's just. Let's go to the middle. Middle was nothing as well, I think. Yeah, okay. So it's just a 10 kilohertz jump. So this one's jumping down 10 kilohertz. So depending on the PLL, what chassis you have in your radio, you can do. There's a combination. Now I figured exactly what's what, but you can do a PLL. Okay, I'm not sure which one's which, but what I can tell you is when you do a 10 kc jump, 10 kilohertz jump, it can be anywhere, any combination of, it can be modded to go up 10 kilohertz, go down 10 kilohertz, or sometimes you have a combination of both, depending on what channel you're on. So I don't know if this one is just jump down or if this is a combination. But we can actually see, and we can, you know what, we'll actually talk about what the benefits of a 10 kilohertz jump and why the mod is actually done. Obviously, for the person who doesn't know, for the hobbyist that's been doing this for years, or another person who is into this, they're obviously going to know what the purpose of a 10 kilohertz jump is. But maybe we'll just talk about that to maybe the novice or the person who just doesn't know what the purpose of that is, kind of clarify it. So we can talk about that later on. But it looks like that's just a 10 kilohertz jump, which, in my opinion, it's, of all the channel type mods you can do, it's probably the least, what can I say? Not desirable. It's probably the least useful, I guess is the best term to say. Because essentially you're just looking for the alpha channels when you do that. But anyway, we'll talk about that. So let me put this to the middle. Yeah, middle is going to be, depending on the mod, the middle is going to be your normal 40 channel. All right, so let's so we know what she's doing for power. Let's see what it's doing for sensitivity. We'll put an S9 signal to the radio and see how it sounds. Hopefully she's receiving okay. Stand by. All right, so we are on channel 19, S9 signal, and it's actually right on the 9, so that's good. Audio sounds good. So yeah, S9 70. Okay. Been going with 70 lately. It's a good happy medium between 67 and 72. So when you set this to 70, you have an S9 signal. You know what? Let's, just for our entertainment purposes, let's put this to 72. See if it changes anything. So 71 minus 72. Look at that, still a 9. Okay, let's do 67. 5, 6, 7. Look at that. I mean, just a fraction. It's technically still on the 9, but once again, is it something you're going to notice? Whether it's 67, 70, or 72, you're not even going to hear the difference. Definitely not going to hear it. And you're definitely not going to see it on this meter. These things are just not accurate, so again, when you set your meters, you can set it to 67, 70, or 72. My opinion, you're going to be in the vicinity of the S9. So Let's see what she's doing for Synad. Alright, so we got, that's 110 plus 1, so that's 111. I'm sorry, that's 109. Yeah, so minus 109. It's not bad, but can be improved upon. But overall, I'd say it's the radio's, you know, it's a good candidate for a good service and you know, restoration. So let's take a look inside and see what's going on in there. All right, stand by. All right, so at first glance, everything seems to be intact. Nothing looks to be bypassed. Looks like somebody had done some work to the transformer, wiring it. I don't know if they swapped out transformers or whatnot, but they kind of just left the wires just kind of hanging here. You know, probably should have gone through that grommet that's under there. But I'll get this done proper. But yeah, nothing seems okay. I'm assuming the everything is just probably turned up. Yeah, so whoever did this mod here did a pretty decent job, I'd say. Why don't we talk about the 10kc jump? Yeah, let me get this out of the way here, and we can talk about how. Well, we can actually. Why don't we actually do the we'll flip the switch, you know, do the mods, do the 10kc mod, and see exactly you know, what's what here. See what kind of mod we have, whether it's the dual up and down jump, or just the down, or whatever. So, all right, stand by. Let me get some stuff together here, and we can talk about what this 10kc jump does. All right, so I thought printing out the actual frequencies of the 40 channels would be a better visual aid for explaining what the 10 kilohertz jump does. So if you notice on the chart here, we have these alpha channels, 3A, 7A, 11A, 15A, and 19A. So it's basically what this mod is used for, is to get to those channels. And that's basically it, because other than that, it's useless. So just a brief I guess explanation of why you don't have these alpha channels in your normal 40 CB band, the 11 meter band. That's because these A channels were reserved for RC stuff. like your remote control cars, planes, actually, boats, yeah, helicopters. We didn't really have drones back in the day, like they do now. Those things are pretty much everywhere. But yeah, anything remote control that used the 27 megahertz band, the FCC reserved these alpha channels here for that purpose. So your remote control operated at any one of these frequencies. And you couldn't legally get this on the on any CB radio. So you'll see here too, this chart actually has 22A and 22B. 22A is not an alpha channel. This is back when they allowed for the full 40 channels. They went back and they had to go back and put 0.235 as 24, 0.245 as 25, and then 26. Subsequently from there on down, it became the designation for the channel. So that's why that 22A is not an alpha channel. This really isn't an issue nowadays. At least I don't think. I've never owned anything 27 megahertz remote controlled. I think it was more for like the less expensive stuff. Like I had a really, really nice Tamiya remote control car. One of the old Japanese, made. Tamiya used to make some really, really nice stuff when it came to remote control. But I had one, and it operated at 27 megahertz. It operated at 72 megahertz. And on the controller itself, you had these crystals that you could plug into the controller, and that would change, the frequency. So if you had somebody next to you who, by chance, happened to have the same crystal as you, you'd obviously have some interference there. You'd be controlling each other's cars, or planes, or whatever have you. So you could change out those little crystals. And in fact, if you belong to like some sort of like RC club, whether it was a cars or planes or whatever, you normally have like a board where they would have X amount of crystals. I don't know, 20, 30 crystals, with a flag, and the flag would correspond to the crystal. You'd clip the flag onto your antenna, and that was your designated crystal while you were in the club. So if you had like a race or something, you all had different crystals, so there was no interference. Again, I don't think nowadays that's an issue, because I think everything operates pretty much now at like 2.4 gigahertz, and I believe there's like locking technology where it the tech with the 2.4 gigahertz will actually lock the transmitter, or whatever, the remote control, to the actual thing you're controlling. And so I think that's how that works. So I'm not an expert, so if you have an RC guy out there or whatever who can elaborate, please do. But I think that is the gist of it. I don't know if things are still being used on the 27 megahertz band. Again, it's been a while since I was into RC stuff. But anyway, we're talking about the 3A channels. So that was reserved for RC control stuff. So now, why would you want to get to these channels? Because back in the day, it was very tough to get an open channel, even if you had, the full 40 channels, to your availability. So this was just another means to get some extra channels that nobody was talking on. That's all this 10 kc, 10 kilohertz jump does. It just allows you to get to these A channels. And that's basically it. Because other than that, so the bandwidth of, each channel is 10 kilohertz. So if you flip the switch, the only thing it's going to do is, if you're not looking for a 7A, any of the alpha channels, the only thing it's going to do is either bring you to the channel above it or below it. And that's all it's going to do. So, if you're on channel 10, 27.075, you flip that switch, it's either going to bring you down to channel 9 or up to channel 11, and that's all it's going to do. So obviously, you can see the difference here between channel 11 and channel 12, right? It's actually, and in the middle is the is the alpha channel. You know, so there's a 10 kilohertz difference between them. So the only benefit, because you wouldn't normally have this to your disposal, the only benefit of that 10 kc jump is to get to these alpha channels. Again, you know, that's the only thing. Other than that, it's just going to bring you to the channel above it or the channel below it. And that's pretty much it. So now, what we can do is, on this radio, we can see what mod we have here, whether this is all up. I mean, I'm sorry, because the first one we checked was down. Whether these are all down jumps or if it's a combination of both. And we can kind of we'll go through these and see what's what, and we'll make kind of like a little roadmap of what's going on, and then we'll see exactly how to get to these alpha channels with this radio. So let's start with, we'll do 3A. We'll see how to get to 3A. So let's go to, this display is a little messed up, but I think we can, okay, that's 3. So this is a 3-position switch. Normally with these mods, the middle position is your normal 40. And then depending on your jump, it's either going to be to the back or to the front. All right, so we'll see what's what here. We'll make a roadmap on how to get to these alpha channels. All right, so let's start at 3. And then we'll see whether or not it jumps us back down to 2, or if it jumps us up to 3A. All right, well, yeah, so let's just do that. So this is 3. Center. 27.985. All right. Channel 3. I'm sorry. 26. All right, I thought I was seeing things. 26.985. That's channel 3. All right, so now we don't know which way it is, so let's go back, flip that back, and see what happens. 26.985. That didn't do anything. That's still channel 3. So switch forward. 26.975, and that brought us down to channel 2. So this is also a down. This is a 10 kilohertz down. So meaning to get to 3A, we'd have to slide, or jump. I say slide, it's not a slide, it's a jump. We'll have to jump down. So let's just, we'll go to 4. And this is down. Okay, so, because we did just jump down. So let's go to, we'll put this back in the middle. We'll go to channel 4. Okay, channel 4. 27.005. Okay, channel 4, 27.005. Channel 4. Let's flip the switch. 26.995. And that's our 3A. So this is a jump down. It's from 4 to 3A. All right. Let's put this back in the middle. Let's go 7A. So we'll do the same thing. We'll start at 7. We'll on all these we'll do the number below the alpha channel. All right, just to keep things consistent. Okay, that's 7. Switch is in the middle. 27.035. All right, it's channel 7. 27.035. All right, let's flip the switch forward. 27.035. So forward did nothing. Switch back. 27.045. that brings us up to channel 7A. So that was a slide up, right? So channel 7, 27.035, just to confirm, channel 7, 27.035, back, 27.045. 27.045. All right, so that was up. So that was a start at 7. Yeah, this pen sucks. This is up. So you can see how this mod works differently for the so far 3A was a slide down or jump down. To get to 7A, it was a jump down, up. Let's go to 11. Put this in the middle. But do you see how the different, also why you need a 3-position switch and why the center is your normal 40? That's why. All right, so let's go to 11. Okay, 11. Switch is in the middle. 27.085. All right, that is 11. So now let's flip the switch forward, see what happens. 27.075. So that brought us down to channel 10. All right, so meaning now we have to go to channel 12, right, to get to 11A, because this one was a jump down again, right? Does that make sense to you guys? Hopefully it does. All right, so let's go back to the center. We'll go to 12. All right, so channel 12, 27.105. That's 12. All right. Switch. 27.095. 27.095, that's 11A. So this was a jump down. I think you guys can kind of see where this is going. But anyway, listen, if you guys already know this stuff, please feel free to skip through. You know, there's no reason to watch this if you guys already know what this does, you know, obviously. But, you know, for those who don't know, this is what a 10 kilohertz jump does. But why don't we just go right to 19? Oh, well, we'll do 15. 15 will be our last one. Let's go to 15. Because I think you guys kind of get the idea as to why you need to have like some sort of roadmap or some sort of chart or a frequency counter with this particular mod. So, okay, center. We'll be doing 15 again. So let's go to 15. All right, we're on 15. Right, that is 15. Yeah. Okay, 15. 27.135. That is 15. 27.135. All right, let's flip the switch forward. See what happens. 27.135. Nothing happened. All right. To the back. Channel 15. 27.145. All right. That's 15A. 27.145. So that was a jump up, right? Let's confirm. So 15. We're on 15. 27.135. All right, 15. Switch back. 27.145, right? Jump up. That was a jump up. So from 15 to 15A, that was a jump up. So you can see, to get to 3A, it was a jump down. To get to 7A, it was a jump up. To get to 11A, it was a jump down. To get to 15A, it was up. And now we know in the beginning, to get to 19A, it was down. Right? Remember in the beginning of the video? So we don't have to do that. So that was, it seems like it alternates, you know, positions. So that's why you either need a frequency counter or you need some sort of roadmap or a chart, you know what I mean, telling you which way the switch goes, you know, and then, you know, and what channel you should be on to get to these alpha channels. So without that, if you don't have either a chart or if you don't have, you know, a frequency counter, you're not going to know, you know, what the 10kc jump is supposed to be. And this is pretty much, of the other mods I've seen, this is how it's usually done. So now, when you look at other radios, let me get out I have my my Cobra 150 GTL here. You'll see the switch here, right there. This one's always going to be a 10 kilohertz jump up, because that's how it's programmed. You know, it's not a mod that had been done. This is how Cobra, you know, has the switch. So no matter what, this is always going to be a plus 10 kilohertz. Always, you know. So you don't really have to worry about, you know, knowing, you know, how that switch works. And then you also have, like my base radio here. This one already has alpha channels built into it. So let's start at 3. So you have 3, 3A, 7, 7A, 11, 11A, 15, 15A, 19, and 19A. Yeah, so this particular radio already has that built into it. So why is this mod kind of dumb? Because it's only going to give you, the only useful thing it'll do is give you these alpha channels. Because as we know, you know, the AM channel bandwidth is only 10 kilohertz, is 10 kilohertz. So if you're on something that's alpha related, the only thing it's going to do is either, so if you're on channel 9, you flip the switch, it's either going to bring you down a channel or up a channel. You know, same holds true for anything else. If you're on channel 30, you flip the switch, it's either going to bring you to channel 31 or channel 29. That's all it's going to do. It's because everything is 10 kilohertz bandwidth. So this mod will only give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more channels, you know, technically. So it's not something that is desirable even nowadays, because, you know, you're not going to have all 40 channels taken up. You're just not. That's not an issue nowadays. So this mod's coming out. It's no longer needed, and you're gonna just have this ugly switch on the side of the case. So it's getting removed. But hopefully that cleared up, you know, why this thing's a 3-position switch, why you need some sort of chart to tell you how to get to these alpha channels, or why you would need a frequency counter. So hopefully that explains what the 10kc jump does. And that's about it for this video. So I'll be doing a follow-up on this radio, completely done up, and with everything fixed, and we'll take it from there. Alright guys, see you next time. Thanks for watching.